Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We are back again with our Madden 20 Relocation franchise with the Mexico City Golden Eagles, and we take a quick look before free agency at our roster, sort of what we have on this team. Like, once again, that offensive line is a mess and definitely needs to be revamped. Some pre-agent signings for this season, draft some guys for the future as well. Take a look here at the offensive skill position guys. Some guys who are starting to get up there in age just a little bit, 27. Guys who have probably reached the peak of what they're going to be able to do. So definitely got to look for some skill position guys maybe later in this draft, as you know, this is a wide receiver rich draft. So you don't have to be beholden to those guys. Looking for, not necessarily upgrades at the running back position, but, I guess upgrades, but gonna release these guys. At least like to draft someone, at least draft a couple guys who have hidden dev traits, things like that, moving forward in this free agent class. Possibly, well, not hidden dev traits, but, maybe look for an option free agency, look for obviously options in the draft a lot later. Moving on from Josh Rosen, don't expect Josh Rosen to be part of this rebuild. So first up at center, Matt Skura, I believe is how you pronounce that name. We're gonna give him a 2-year deal. Think about this, I maybe should have went a little bit longer, but 2-year deal, $7 million a year for him. I think that's an okay deal. Then we go to Elijah Wilkinson, around $4 million a deal. Or we go $4 million? Yeah, no, around $5 million a year for him as well. And then at right tackle, we're gonna go a little bit older here. Jared Veltier, a little cheap deal there, $5 million for a year for him. Take a look at Eric Armstead, see if he's interested. We have the best bid on him by far, but we decided to go up a little bit more on him. $39 million, I think. So we have the best deal by far. We also decided to bring in another defensive tackle. I know that franchise guy would probably take a helmet and bash me over the head for me signing another defensive tackle, but why not? Just some more depth there. I might run a 4-3. I'm not 100% sure. We're going here. We're going to sign Byron Jones, but I figure at this sort of money for a corner, why not just get the guy who's a few years younger and is probably the better player for us anyways? Why not just pay the premium for him? We're paying, I think, around like the same amount of money. I think just an extra year on there. So same deal. So why not just go with that? I was going to go Levi Wallace, but I decided to cheap out just a little bit here. Decided to go just a little, just not as expensive, because we're already bringing in the one big name corner. So I sort of figured, why not just, cheap out just a little bit on this. And I believe we're gonna go with not Jalen Mills, because his hair color is his hair color actually would be right for this team. We have green part of our team colors, but Bashad Breeland, we're gonna go with him. $4.35 million. Bring him in. So we're gonna simulate, and we're gonna see who we got to come in and be a part of this team. And we get Kelsey Osimile, which is awesome. It's a good deal for that. Armstead says no, probably because Brian Flores doesn't have all those like free agency influence boosts. Once we start the actual season, I'm gonna stop being an owner and then switch on and take over as the coach. So we're going to do that as well. So we get Kendall Fuller. We get most of our targets in free agency. So now week 2 of free agency, looking around here, Emmanuel Agba, free agent, 76 overall. I'm going to sign him up for a 2-year deal. And we're going to try to work with this contract here. Hopefully he accepts this $8 million, 2 years, 5.9 per. See Kareem Hunt. I'm trying to lowball him a decent amount, actually. Try to save some money here. Gotta save that money. We're gonna lowball him. Like, hey, you have some off the field issues. You didn't exactly play great in Cleveland. maybe more of a product of the system in Kansas City. So, why pay him top dollar? Quarterbacks, at this point, I'm positive. Like I said, I'm not going with Josh Rosen. I'm probably not going to draft a quarterback in this draft early. So that sort of leaves us with a bridge guy that we're going to get for a year. See what happens next year. Drew Brees. Yeah, buddy, we're not paying you $29 million. This is the low ball of all low balls. I did not expect him to actually, I guess I kind of already spoiled. I didn't expect him to sign this at all. $9 million total for Breeze. And we simulate, and he actually accepted the contract. And we get Agba as well, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I didn't expect Breeze to sign that deal whatsoever, and he did. So we get Drew Brees for a year. While he's still a decent quarterback, 86 overall, I believe. We get Emmanuel Agba for 2 years, helps along that defensive line. I think we've somewhat fortified that defense a bit more. I don't expect Kareem Hunt to sign with us, so we're gonna go here to David Johnson. And 2 years and $8.8 million. We're sort of like off by a year, just 2 years for him. Hope he gets back to us about signing with us. He doesn't. And we'll come back to that later because I'm a little annoyed that he didn't sign that contract. You're going to see what he signed for. I think if you're someone who's played franchise enough, you've had a situation like that where you've tried going after a guy in that last week of official free agency that they have in the game. He doesn't get back to you, and then you go and look and see where he actually signed and what he signed for. You're sort of like, hey, what the hell? So since we're not going with Josh Rosen, I decide to go here and move him to New Orleans, a 2023 and a 2025 picks. And they take that. So, sorry, Josh Rosen, you have to try in New Orleans. I'm not the biggest Josh Rosen fan, personally. I don't think he'll ever develop as well as we need him to. So, it just sort of doesn't make sense for us to have him moving forward. I told myself in this draft, if Chase Young goes 1, we go with Burrow. Well, Burrow goes 1, which means we go Chase Young. Simple as that. I thought about Tua. I thought about Jake Fromm. I even thought about Jedrick Wills as well, offensive lineman. Thought about Thomas. Gave some thoughts to Jeffrey Okudah, but I think just me signing those corners sort of maybe showing I'm not serious about Okudah. And we'd go with Chase Young, number 1, best player in the draft. Hidden dev. I'm assuming that's probably a superstar, unless Big Game Bangle decides to troll everyone and give him a star. But I'm almost positive that's either superstar or superstar X Factor. This is his updated class, most recently. So here we are, pick number 2 in the second round. Decided to go with left tackle Josh Jones out of Houston. Has that A- impact block. B+ pass block finesse and B+ lead block. Guys, I'm not the best drafter, and it says we reached here a bit, but he has hidden dev. So, hopefully that's maybe a superstar, probably just star. Because I know people who make draft classes don't give too many linemen superstar. Linemen don't get dev trait upgrades in this game at all. So just a key for you guys out there making draft classes, be sure to give your linemen dev traits and things like that. So we get Yetur Gross-Matos. Wasn't great. Thought about Jacob Eason. Thought about Jalen Hurts even. And decided against it. Looked at another guard here in John Simpson. And thought about maybe waiting for some of those other guards, but I thought, hey, this guy looks pretty good. We go with Simpson, normal dev. Not the greatest pick in the world, but I'm still okay with it. We get another lineman to plug in there. He's better than anyone who started on this offensive line last season. Then here we go with KJ Hamler. He was still on the board for some reason. Great speed, great acceleration. Really good stats. Decided to take him. Then we go with Anthony Jennings here as well. Left outside linebacker. 68 overall, but a hidden dev. Probably a star if I had to guess. So then we go with running back Zach Moss out of Utah. 68 overall, hidden dev. Then I think I looked at his stats. I was sort of surprised. Like, he seems fine to me, so whatever. And then we go with Van Jefferson. This guy is starting to climb up a lot of people's draft boards. Out of Florida, deep threat. 69 overall, normal dev. That can always be upgraded. So 6'2", 197 pounds. Looks good to me. Add some more depth to that receiver position. So then after that, we come back another running back. We go with Eno Benjamin. Not very good. 64 overall. No hidden dev trait. And then we take maybe the worst quarterback in the draft, Brian Lewerke. I thought, why not just take a quarterback? Maybe we might get lucky. But Brian Lewerke, not very good. He's not very good in real life. Then we take a joke pick that Bengal put in this draft class, I think. Take Michael Myers from LSU, speed rusher, 65 overall, but he has a hidden dev trait. That better be an X factor. I'll say that right now. Took him. And then we took Quintez Cephas. Sentimental pick for me. Cephas, if you know a situation at Wisconsin, you know that he really got hosed there by the administration. So I actually think he's better than a 61 overall. I actually think he's a decent prospect. But take a look here. I think we had a decent draft. I really do. I think this was actually an okay draft. Could I have done better? Probably. But all in all, I think this was a good draft for us. Outside of the Lewerke pick and Eno Benjamin pick, good draft. I like Cephas. He'll probably be on the practice squad. So I'm looking around here. I'm trying to figure out, all right, where did David Johnson sign? He wasn't getting that sort of money from anyone else. No one else offered him a contract. So where did he go? Where did David Johnson decide to go after he got paid? After the Cardinals released him and paid him a bunch of money, he went to Baltimore and he signed a one-year deal worth $690,000. After I'm correctly thinking I was offering him $8.8 million. Don't know why he would do that. This happens a lot in this game where you'll offer a guy a decent contract, not what he was asking for, and then he'll just end up signing for $690,000 to the CPU. He wouldn't take that contract. He would sign with Arts. He would sign with our team. So I don't know. I'm thinking about taking over ownership of the Bengals, releasing him, and then just giving him the exact contract that we were going to give him. Just to make things fair, or possibly just raise his contract to what we were offering him, but yet on the Ravens. Just so they don't get a good player for super cheap, because I think that's sort of BS that they would get a really good player for super cheap. Like, thanks, Madden. I'll take a look here at some other, free agents, and just nothing all that interesting. Look at some quarterbacks, even maybe a better backup. Nothing I really like. So we are just going to come back in this one, hit up the start of the season, start of year one, and go from there. So either way, I thank you guys for watching this whole video. I want to thank you guys for the support you showed that first episode of this series, because you guys really seem to enjoy it, seem to really take to it. So I want to thank you guys for that, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.